There is only one type of whale that can probably swallow a human whole. Most people would assume that's the blue whale. Blue whales have large mouths that could fit hundreds of people inside. Yet the baleen plates inside their mouths would restrict a person from being swallowed. The only whales that would have no difficulty swallowing us humans are sperm whales. Let's see how we can keep away from being their feast. Before we move on, make sure to give us a thumbs up and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with all our videos. Also watch till the end of the video for an extra point. Of the 90 known whale species on Earth, sperm whales are the only species with throats huge enough to swallow a human technically. So basically what happens inside the stomach of the whale is that you won't get enough oxygen and is filled with acids. And if we're addressing sperm whales, which we are most of the time, there is the dangerous passage through the 30-foot jaws aligned with 8-inch teeth. The 65-foot-long creatures have a vast esophagus to feed on bigger prey such as giant squids, which they sometimes consume whole. Sounds gigantic. Swimming with whales absolutely sounds like one of the most breathtaking yet exciting experiences one can come across in their lifetime. But swimming with whales or touching them upsets their natural behavior, and this can cause high amounts of stress in certain whales, possibly putting the diver at risk. So next time you come across one, do remember to keep a distance from them instead of panicking. Let's hear an interesting incident. Reiner Shimp 51 was diving off the shore of South Africa with a documentary team when the breaching whale touched the surface, its mouth wide open. It got dim and I felt some pressure on my hip. Reiner explained, "Once I sensed the weight, I immediately knew a whale had clutched me. A sweatsuit was hardly the thing between Reiner's flesh and the jaws of the whale, which can grow to be 50 feet long and weigh 20 tons. It occurred notably fast. From staying on the surface and observing something, I became the inside man and suddenly was within a whale." He added, "I'm sure it was a wonder for the whale as well." Reiner said he instantly held his breath, assuming that the whale would dive beneath the surface. The whale then returned and opened its mouth, freeing Reiner Shimp. So what exactly did this diver do? Let's dive in and get to know how to handle the situation when swallowed by a whale. Number 1. Wearing a guarding suit. Some people might think that you're a little unsafe when you show up to swim with the whales in your wetsuit, but it could very well keep you safe. You would require a suit that's immune to hydrochloric acid so that you could endure in the whale's stomachs. Hydrochloric acid is undoubtedly something which can cause serious harm to our skin. One sort of suit that might do the trick is a neoprene wetsuit. There is some indication that it could resist severe conditions in the stomach. You would also require a breathing tube and an oxygen tank because inside the whale's stomach, you wouldn't be luxuriously breathing in oxygen as you always have. Number 2. Do not panic. Yes, we understand that it's simply said than done, but there is no time for anxiety. If you ever come across such a situation, keeping you calm is one thing that will help you to free yourself sooner. Try to brush around the mouth before getting consumed. It will be notably dark, but if you can locate something to grasp onto, you won't get burned and eaten in any of the whale's 4 stomachs. You could try to clutch on the walls of the esophagus, but that would be very challenging as it is covered in mucus. Yeah, sure, it will be slimy, but who cares when you are literally at the brink of death? Number 3. Buckle up into a tight ball. Bringing your legs and arms close to your body as tightly as you can and drop your chin to your chest. It would be great if you bent up into the tightest ball you could. This will reduce your body's surface area and minimize the chance you'll get crushed by the whale's teeth. Sperm whales have 18 to 26 teeth on either side of their jaws, and each tooth scales up to 1 kilogram. Don't worry, if you follow these steps, you can get out unharmed. Yet if you were curled up into a ball, you'd still be fortunate to make it through the mouth without losing a leg or an arm, but at least you'd have an opportunity. Number 4. Pause to spit up. It worked for our friend Reiner Shimp. So why couldn't it work for you? He was fortunate enough to be spat out before he was consumed, but it's going to be a little more complicated in your case. And gross, favorably for you, sperm whales want to vomit every numerous hours. So if you were capable of remaining deep enough, you could be spat up with it. But don't get too excited, because sustaining all depends on where you get spat out. Whales usually can stroke at an intensity of 3,290 feet, whereas human body can only stroke at a depth of 65 feet without support. So if the whale thought of spitting you out on the low part of his swim, you've seemingly got a better possibility of surviving through it if you just stay inside. Number 5. Avoid sperm whales. It might seem like common sense, But if you want to avoid being swallowed by a whale, how about you stay away from the only ones that can consume humans? If another type of whale scoops you up in their mouth, you'll have a much better chance of survival. Take the humpback whale for instance. When this whale approaches a potential meal, such as a school of krill, they propel themselves forward with a burst of energy, opening their mouths wide and letting whatever is in their way flood in. When something larger than krill enters their mouth, they'll use their tongues to force it back out. What happens to your body if a whale consumes you? The whale forces you down and starts dissolving once swallowed with hydrochloric acid. Once you make it through the throat, you'll find yourself in the stomach. Well, one of the 4 stomachs. Then the whale's digestive system will begin to move your body through its other stomachs. While going through the rest of the gut, more acids will break down more of your skin, muscle, and organs. Eventually, you'll reach the anus, and your body will be ejected. Unfortunately, you'll be left as just bones after the stomach acids completely burn your flesh. If you were still wondering whether or not they can swallow a human whole, it's interesting to point out that these large animal throats are relatively tiny compared to their body. Even if someone did make it past the baleen plates, the blue whale's esophagus is only 25 centimeters across, too small to allow a human through. As with the blue whale, most huge whales consume food that is much tinier than humans, and they keep their mouths wide open as they move within the shores. The blue whale eats a diet essentially consisting of krill and occasionally fish and other minor aquatic life forms that are much tinier than humans. They also hold baleen plates instead of teeth so that they can't even crush their food. All told, you might have already understood that technically it's possible to survive being swallowed by a whale, yet it's extremely unlikely to get swallowed. But luckily for us, whales are generally not that interested in humans. Many whale species are relatively friendly or curious about humans and rarely attack humans unless provoked or threatened. It isn't entirely understood why whales don't eat or attack humans. There have been various thoughts and theories that have tried to explain their apparent lack of interest in human flesh. Some have considered that we do not taste appealing. Therefore, animals such as killer whales aren't interested in consuming or attacking people, while others believe that we do not match their regular diet, so they are less likely to try and hunt us. Good for us! There are also speculations that killer whales are smart and have chosen not to consume people as a deliberate choice. In most instances, humans do not reach close enough contact with animals such as sperm whales or killer whales in the wild to even consider them a threat. Also on a side note, as a bonus tip, if you see a beached whale corpse, you might want to consider stepping back. Dead whales are prone to exploding. Decaying cadavers have on numerous occasions violently erupted in front of human audiences. Gases leak inside the animal bodies during decomposition and are known to build up and rip through flesh in a powerful burst of malodorous airborne entrails. There have been various cases of collapsing whale remains due to the accumulation of gas in the decomposition process. Actual explosives have also been used to assist in disposing of whale carcasses, ordinarily after towing the carcass out to sea. Everything about whales did sound interesting, right? And so with that, we've come to the end. We hope you found this video interesting. Do let us know your views and beliefs in the comment section below. Make sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content. Until next time.